So I wanted to tell you the story about how I got my nickname Zaza Gabor. For a while it was just Zaza. My grandma still calls me Zaza on my birthday cards and when I talk to her on the phone. It's been a while since that's happened, but and then it was kind of shortened to Za. And I kind of like it. It's kind of cute. But the funny story is when I was in grade 1, I had a teacher named Miss Ferguson, and she had this like short hair, kind of like mine on the sides, and it was like curly on the top, but it was like red, and it was just like hilarious. She's probably like Irish or something, but I was kind of like this outgoing kind of kid, and I was kind of awkward, like I still am, and I went up to her, and I was like, I have chapped lips. I have chapped lips. Because I had chapped lips and they were like really huge, I guess. But I was like, and she's like, I can see that. And she said something about chapstick, and she was like, you look like Zaza Gabor. I remember being like, and then I just ran away. So I went skipping through the little desks, and that was in the classroom, and she was sitting at her desk. But yeah, so then I went home, and at the time I lived with my mom, but I spent a lot of my time at my grandparents' house, which wasn't too far away. It's just like 2 blocks away. And I went there, and my grandmother worked in a fish plant here in Campbell River. And so she worked with a lot of ethnic ladies. And so there was like Spanish ladies and ladies that didn't speak English, and like, you know. So a lot of the times I just kind of made jokes and cracked up around the kitchen table and just like laughed. And I just remember them laughing all the time and hanging out. And yeah, it was really funny. My grandma had a funny group of friends. And I went to her and I was like, okay, grandma, I'm like, I need to talk to you. And she's like, what do you want to say? And I'm like, well, I need to talk to you in private. Since I didn't know what the Zaza Gabor thing was all about. So she's like, no, she didn't want to talk in private. So she's like, whatever you have to say to me, it's okay. These are my friends. And I looked around and I was like, shit. I'm like, if the Zaza Gabor thing is really bad, these chicks are gonna laugh their friggin' asses off. So anyways, I was like, okay. I'm like, who's Zaza Gabor? And of course they just start cracking up, and I'm like, and I felt so little, and I was like standing by the table. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, who's Zaza Gabor? I look like this thing. And she was like, why do you want to know who Zaza Gabor is? And I was like, because my teacher said I look like her. With my chapped lips, if you can imagine. I didn't actually figure out who the hell Zaza Gabor was till I was like older, like a lot older. She told me she was a singer or something like that, and I just didn't clue in. We didn't have Facebook or Google or YouTube or anything back then, so I couldn't really look her up, and we didn't have magazines of Zaza Gabor looking around. Anyways, so yeah, ever since then, she's called me Zaza Gabor, and then it was Zaza, and then it was Za. My cousin Kylie called me Za for short. And my stepdad still calls me Jaja Gabor. My grandpa calls me Jaja. For whatever reason, they've thrown that J on there. But yeah, it's just ZSA, and that's how I got my friggin' nickname. So if you can imagine me like this. I don't think I've had chapped lips since then, because I won't let it happen while it's lubricating my luscious lips. Anyways, see ya. I don't want to be ya.
Through a child's eyes and I saw this beautiful things that you never think about, like the ocean, moon, like stars and clouds. It's amazing how we don't appreciate our blessings. There's plenty of people who don't like me, but there's 10 times more who love me, and I love myself. Sometimes it gets tough, but I can give up.
I need to get a life and a job. All this stuff doesn't sting.